I was standing in the bank lobby when my phone vibrated. Not a call, a notification. Balance, $312.47. I remember the way the floor seemed to tilt, like gravity had been reassigned without notice. I leaned against the marble counter and stared at the screen, waiting for it to correct itself. It didn't. The teller was smiling at someone else. A child laughed behind me. Life continued at full volume while something inside me went completely silent. She had kissed my cheek that morning and said, "Girls' trip, I'll be back Sunday." I had waved from the doorway, coffee in hand, trusting like a man who thought trust was still a currency. That was the moment the marriage ended. I just didn't know it yet. We had built our life slowly, brick by brick, rented apartments, cheap furniture, long nights counting expenses at the kitchen table, promising each other that one day we'd breathe easier. When we finally opened the joint savings account, it felt ceremonial. Our future, quantified. A house fund, emergency money, the place where loyalty went to rest. She used to tell me I was safe, predictable, solid. I mistook that for love. There were signs, of course. There are always signs. The phone angled away, the sudden gym obsession paired with indifference at home, her laughter drifting out of rooms I wasn't in. I noticed them the way people notice hairline cracks in a foundation, registering concern, but trusting the structure to hold. I never suspected the past. Her ex was a closed chapter, or so she said. A mistake, a phase, someone she outgrew. I believed her because belief was easier than suspicion. The first truth came from the bank. The second came from the airline. I asked for transaction details, large withdrawals, a wire transfer, a flight booking, 2 tickets, 1 destination, a beach city she'd always wanted to visit with me but said we couldn't afford. I stepped outside and sat on the curb. Cars passed. Time moved forward like it always does, indifferent to personal catastrophes. Her name was on the booking. His name was right next to it. The pain came late. First came clarity. She hadn't left impulsively. This wasn't chaos. This was a plan. I didn't scream. I didn't call her. I didn't cry. I went home and opened my laptop. I pulled bank statements, screenshotted everything, timestamps, IP addresses. I logged into our cloud storage and downloaded years of photos, receipts, shared documents. I checked the phone bill. International roaming activated the moment she landed. I found emails she forgot to delete. Not romantic, logistical, money, timing, how long she'd be free. I slept that night like a man preparing for war. The next morning I called a lawyer. Calm voice, clear questions. I didn't say my wife betrayed me. I said my spouse committed financial fraud and marital abandonment. Words matter. They change outcomes. I froze the remaining accounts, filed an emergency financial injunction, changed passwords, set up alerts. I documented everything with the discipline of someone who understood that justice favors the prepared. Then I waited. She didn't call for 3 days. When she finally did, her voice was sun-warmed and careless. "Hey," she said, "something's wrong with my card." I let the silence stretch, let it breathe. "Oh?" I said. She laughed nervously. "Yeah, probably the bank. Can you check?" "I already did," I said. Another pause, this one sharp. "I know," I continued, calm as ice. "About the money, about the flight, about him." She started talking fast, justifications stacked on top of lies like a collapsing tower. She said she needed space, said it wasn't what it looked like, said I'd driven her away with my stability. I let her talk herself empty. Then I told her about the injunction, the lawyer, the evidence. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The confrontation came 2 weeks later, Not at home, not privately, at mediation. She walked in wearing a dress I bought her. He wasn't there. He never would be. Men like him disappear when consequences show up. Her confidence evaporated when the documents hit the table. Dates, amounts, messages. The mediator's expression hardened. The lawyer's pen stopped moving. She cried, not from remorse, from loss of control. The savings were ruled marital property. Her unauthorized withdrawal, illegal. The judge ordered restitution, asset seizure, wage garnishment. She looked at me like she was seeing a stranger. She was right. Her friends stopped calling. Her parents stopped defending her. The ex vanished back into obscurity, pockets empty, fantasy expired. She tried to apologize later, sent a long message about mistakes and growth and how she'd lost herself. I didn't respond, because the truth was simpler. She didn't lose herself, she revealed herself. Now, when I think about that day in the bank, I don't feel anger, I feel gratitude. That notification saved me years. That betrayal gave me clarity I never would have chosen, but desperately needed. I rebuilt quietly. New accounts, new routines, new rules. I don't mistake comfort for loyalty anymore. I don't confuse love with convenience. She wanted freedom. I gave it to her, with consequences. And I kept the one thing she thought she'd taken from me, my future.